Doing this one in a voiceover because the majority of it's going to be loud. I'll cut out the audio when I need to. Part 2 of removing stickers from cover art. I know I said PlayStation 2, but GameCube also got hit with this monstrosity quite a bit. First video that is right there that I did. I showed you guys how to do it with heptane. That's kind of one of the methods that I like. It's not the only one though. There are other methods that you can use. This one involves a mini hot air gun. But on Amazon, nothing fancy. It does get very hot. Okay, so that's just the thing you need to keep in mind. It gets more hot than a hairdryer. I will do a hairdryer version of this just to kind of show you guys what all goes into it. But for now, we're going to do the heat gun. I want to say this was, I don't know, $20 online, something like that. It's basically just a heating coil and a fan. So it gets really hot, blows the hot air. That's how hot air guns work. We're going to remove, I'm not going to worry too much about the case because the case is kind of in meh shape. It'll get cleaned up too. There are some gouges and stuff, but today is to focus on this. So the first thing I do, take it out of the case. Move the camera around a little bit. Take it out of the case and then press it down, but as you're pressing it down, you want to look at the crease. I'll flip this, it'll make it a little easier for me. You want to look at the creasing on the sides, just to make sure that you're not going to get yourself into a situation where this is all going to start breaking and busting up on you. I can zoom. So see on here, and just press it down lightly and really just be aware of if you get any creasing or anything. So you can see up here, there's a little tiny bit. The rest looks pretty good. I don't know what's going to be under this cover art, but I'm not looking forward to it. So the reason I say that, move this down a little bit. The reason I say that is just, it's been on there quite a while. This sticker has been on here since January 7th, 2007. So we'll see. So for this method, I don't remember where I put my great big book, but today I'm going to be using a giant binder, a card binder, just to hold down the one side, like that. And the idea there, I'm left-handed, so I should probably do it on this side. The idea there is just that you're going to be putting some pressure on the cover art, and you want to make sure that it gets as good of a chance as possible. Let me check and see if I zoom in here. Can you guys still see? I'm getting a new camera mount, so bear with me. I'm going to get a camera mount so it doesn't shake as much. I'll cut the audio in and out when I need to and do voiceovers when I need to, just to kind of explain to you guys what I'm doing and why. The big thing is that we're going to heat up the sticker with our hot air gun. And then we're going to go in with just a scraper and start to peel up those sides. Other things you can use, I've seen a couple of people buy these scriggets. Whatever, it says scriget. A couple of people buy these as well. And I'll post those, and I'll post these. Let me zoom out a bit. I'll post those and these so that everyone can figure out a tool that works well for them. That's about it. These little picks, these little pry picks, they don't really work the way that I want them to, and the plastic's too sharp. Anyway, so first we're going to do is just heat up the sticker, and then just kind of see what the sticker wants to do. Keeping in mind, like areas like this, you can see how it's kind of starting to wrinkle a little bit. Just be mindful of that, and just know that you might have to change your tactics as we go along. So let's get started. It'll take a second for the heat gun to heat up, but make sure that you don't stop moving the heat gun across the sticker. Stick close to one side, whichever side you're going to start working on, and just keep moving. You see what happened? That's actually what I want. I want the sticker to start to blacken up a little bit because that tells me that it's getting a lot of heat, which is good. You want to make sure that you focus it mostly on the sticker and not so much on the paper. But the trick there is that usually these spines are going to be a dark color, at least on the GameCube. So it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Otherwise, if you did it on something like a bright color, it would fade it out a bit. And you just want a corner to come up. Something that you can grab onto. Once you get it to where you can grab onto a corner, start to peel, but you're going to want to keep pressure up top, and I'm peeling downwards, okay? So you keep your pressure up top so it's not stretching anything, and just peel as much as you can. Now, on this little side right here, okay, if this corner is going to just peel up no problem. If it didn't peel up as easily as these other corners, like I'm going to peel this off and it's going to come off just fine. If it didn't, stop pulling and go back in and take more of your heat gun and really try to add a little bit more heat just to that corner, just to loosen that corner. This is going to pull up just fine though. So then as you're pulling, I'm doing this mostly so you can hear how slow I'm pulling. As you're pulling, just be very aware of how quick you're going. And be very aware, do you hear that? So that's tearing. So you hear a little bit of tearing that's coming in, and it just sounds a little bit like a crinkle. It's not the end of the world. So you see I'm just turning where I'm going, and I'm gonna get a little separation right here. That's okay too. We'll try it a little bit more on here. It just sounds a little bit like a little crackle. Yeah, and that's tearing. That can be two different tearings. That can be the tearing of the label. So see, that's the tearing of the label. Ready? Listen. And that's okay. But we want to make sure that we're not tearing more than we want to. So I always peel off the excess amount that I get rid of, just because it's less to have to work around. But you do still want to leave yourself a little bit of a tab to work with. So what I'm doing now, oh, and you can see it, cool. What I'm doing now is just rolling. And it's the same motion that I show a lot of times where it's just this kind of a scooping, and I'm scooping it towards me. Just a nice light little roll. And then if I start to get to the point where I'm not pulling anything up, I'm not moving down, like if you're looking at it like it is right now, I'm not moving down so much, more as I'm just kind of rotating in a space. And as I get more and more of it up, yeah, that sounds like tearing. But again, you don't know if it's tearing of the cover art or if it's tearing of the sticker. You know, sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. So we're coming in on a good time to go back and do more heat. So you remember that the old sticker turned kind of black, okay? And you can see it compared to, if I get my hand out of the way, you can see it compared to the new sticker, or to the other half of the sticker. You can see that the one side got black, and the other side is still kind of light, which means it didn't get as much heat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, do another round of heat on this one just to soften up this bottom half. I mostly stayed up at the top because I knew that's where I was gonna start. Be mindful of any pieces that are sticking up. Those are gonna get more heat. Those are gonna probably blacken and shrivel faster than the rest of it. So we're gonna add a little bit more heat, wait for it to heat up a little bit, and then go. And just keep it moving the whole time. Yeah, you can see that just immediately goes black. The rest of it's going black, so we didn't even need to do too much at all. You can absolutely burn and char cover art stickers by using a heat gun. So you see how quickly that turned black? And you see on this edge here how that turned black as well? So just something to keep in mind as you're doing it. You know, it's not a lot of heat. It's heat for a short amount of time and constantly moving. Oh, this is gonna come up nicely. Got a little bit of separation on here. That's okay. The sticker is separating from itself, basically, which is okay. And it's leaving a little bit of residue, as long as it's not tearing. Yeah, so basically just what happened there is the sticker separated from itself and left a little bit more of this residue. If we go quick, that's still probably fairly warm, and we should be able to scrape a lot of this. The spot where I'm on right now, you want to be extra careful because that paper's already been weakened by just folding all the time. Just having it be constantly folded. So just be careful and don't gouge the paper. Yeah, running into my own camera. We're at a tough spot now because I can't really go back and use heat because the heat's gonna impact the cover art way too much. So you just gotta go at this and pick and change your angle when you start to get a little bit of resistance. Just change up your angle and change up your direction. And you'll see I do that quite a lot. And then if you're getting here where it's just kind of bunching up, just see if you can peel it off. Yeah. Oops. Okay. And then we're going to go through and just make sure. So all we're doing now is just scraping down to make sure that there's not anything remaining. Let's take a look at how we did. Yeah, so there's a bit of residue still, and you can see it pretty well. You can see pretty well with the discoloration. Come on, camera. With the discoloration on the Nintendo seal. But like I said, put it in the case first. You know, put it back in the case and see what you think. Yeah, so you know, if you get up real close to it, yeah, you can see it, but we're not going to get real close to it. We're going to leave it, you know, a little bit of a distance away. Yeah, and you can see You can see it right there and right there. So what can you do about this? You know, you can, I wouldn't try any more heat. And scraping it's really not going to do anything because it's actually on the adhesive layer. Goo Gun's going to be too impactful to the surface. It's way too strong. We can try heptane, but I think I don't want to push it. But we'll try it for this video. Honestly, if this was just me for my collection, I would be done right here. And I would say, yeah, this looks great. I'm done. See you later. And that's it. We'll go ahead. We'll try heptane to see if we can get rid of a little bit of this discoloration. I don't think we're going to get rid of the full residue, though. I just don't think that's going to happen. So give me a second. We'll get some heptane out. We'll try to clean it up. We'll see what it does, but we're going to stop. You know, the minute that it starts to get kind of sketchy, we're going to stop. All right, we're back. Heptane, Q-tips. And the reason that I say, you know, to not push it is that we've been looking at it like this whole time, you know, just super, super close. And we've just been staring at it inches away and everything. We're like, oh my gosh, it's not perfect. Take it back a little bit. Take it back to arm's length and then look at it. And then decide, you know, does this actually look as bad as I thought? I think this is gonna dry it out. Now we're getting ink too. Yeah, we're getting ink. Yep. Ugh. See if we get ink. It's a video. I have to remind myself of that regularly. We're getting up some of the adhesive. Yeah, we're getting up a good amount of the adhesive, but also we're getting a little discoloration on there. So let me look at this green and see if we pick up any of this green. Yeah, see that? Let me do it with a clean one. So nice and clean. A little bit of heptane. Okay. And we're gonna go on that grass. We're just going to try to clean the adhesive from that grass, and then we're going to look at what the Q-tip looks like. Okay. So I'm calling it because this looks great. I mean, it looks really good the way that it is. So calling it there, and I think this is a perfect example of when it looks good enough, know when to stop. Because, you know, that is coming from the ink, okay? That is coming from the, I mean, you literally saw where it comes from, the green grass right there. So, but this is the challenge that you run into with heptane, is that heptane will do that. Yeah, I have a video where I use heptane to remove a sticker, and you see in that video the same challenges and the same struggles of, you know, you can't use it too much. You can use it to get rid of the adhesive, but you can't use it covered in stickers. But you can't use it too much because you might get rid of the color. So, yeah, you can see it. This camera does not want to zoom. It looks like it's like a shadow almost, like it looks like a gloss, but it's actually a little bit of discoloration. But again, you know, this thing ain't all that clear. So, you know, and even if it was a brand new GameCube case, the polyethylene sleeve would still have some shadowing to it. It would still have some hazing to it. So, yeah, and you can't, I mean, you know, take your wins for what they are, I think is a big thing that we're also learning. I like the hairdryer, the heat gun and the hairdryer methods. I like those. It's what I used to do for the longest time before I started to use heptane. It's easy. We got lucky on this one, though. We got very, very lucky on this one because there was no tearing. There was no damage to the edges of the cover art or anything, so we got really lucky on this one. It seems to be a trend where the GameCube cover arts seem to be a little sturdier. They seem to be a little thicker than PlayStation 2 cover art, so I have a little bit better luck with it. Yeah, you can see a little separation going on right there. So I have a better luck with it, but it's not anything that you can really like quantify. So we'll do another one. I have 5 or 6 GameCubes from the GameCube cleaning series that need cover arts removed, and then probably 6 PlayStation 2s that still need them removed. I'll do a bunch of these because I want to do one where I'm going to get into a situation where I'm like, oh, I need to stop and I can't remove the sticker, or the sticker has damaged the crease. A lot of times what will happen is you'll have, so you see right here, that kind of separation where it turns white underneath. You'll have the sticker on top of it. As you remove the sticker, it just pulls more of the ink off the paper, and it just makes that look even worse. So hopefully we'll run into a couple of those so we can show you guys how to deal with those as well. Pretty straightforward one for this. We got, like I said, we got a bunch more that are coming up. Yeah, tools are just basically a scraper that you're comfortable with using, and that's the big thing with this. Is it needs to be a tool that you're comfortable with using. I've seen a lot of people that can use these, no problem, and they like using them. And I've seen people that prefer these because of the scooping. Just depends on what you like. Buy a couple of different things, try them out, see what you think. Until next time. Also, this is a good series. It's Talk 2, Talk 1 over there. This is a fun series. Kind of miss those platformers back in the day. Removing GameStop stickers from cover art. This is the second one. I hope to do a bunch of these because every single sticker that I remove from a cover art that GameStop put on atones me of another horrible GameStop sin that I committed during my times behind that counter. So be sure to check out the other videos. If you don't see a video on some content that you would like to see, let me know. Hit me up in the comments to say, hey, I'm struggling with this or that. There's either a video that's made for it that I just haven't finished yet, or there's a guide. Maybe there's a better explanation out there than a video that I've made. So we're trying to tackle all things. I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule of posting videos. I have a lot of videos in the fold, so you can subscribe if you want to, and you'll get the notifications when the new stuff comes out. Let me know what you like, though. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos, and let me know if there's a different format you would rather see. Until next time, thanks, everyone. I'm going to keep cleaning. See you guys.